Okay, welcome to the Alliance Tournament. I am our Kill 2. With me is Ravy. We're about to see Black Legion versus Outbreak. Should be a really interesting match. On the left for Black Legion, we have 3 Tengus, a Basilisk, 2 Gilas, and 3 Worms.
And on the right-hand side of your screen for Outbreak, we've got 3 Sleipnirs, a Claymore, a Scimitar, a Hugin, 3 Sabres, and a Thrasher. Very interestingly, these are 2 copies of different PL teams, the PL Minotaur Rush from last year and the PL Tengu team that lost to Darkside today. In our tests with these 2 teams, the Tengus always won, so it'll be really interesting to see how this match goes.
So for ranges, we have the Outbreak team coming in at max range from the Beacon, 50k. They're actually pretty close angle, though, to the Black Legion team, who've come in kind of spread out their supports in the back, the Sabres and the Worms and the Basilisk are in the back. Everything else probably at 20k from the Beacon.
Like a lot of these fights, a lot of it will come down to who can kill the logistics first, I think. If these Tengus are ham-fit like the PL team, which isn't a given, then they'll be able to make short work of these Sleipnirs and Claymores with the amount of DPS that they do to battlecruiser-size hulls.
All right, so here we go. Most of the ships on the field headed straight for each other. The Outbreak support headed for the back of the field there to get to that logistics as soon as they can. And
since the Tengus are moving in, it is pretty safe to say that they are ham-fit, just like the PL setup. I'd be very interested to see exactly how Black Legion went about copying this setup, since they actually, this one wasn't one of the ones that was part of our forum leak, so it would have been their spies on Sissy that got a look at it earlier.
Wow, look at that Basilisk
dropping very quickly.
That was crazy.
That is going to hurt. It'll be pretty difficult for Black Legion to come back from that, although they are applying damage interestingly to one of the Sabres. I think that is a very poor choice. The Sabres are not going to be taking a lot of damage from hams. Heavy assault missiles do a good job of killing large things, but they are really signature radius limited. You're not going to be able to kill small, fast things with them very well at all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is kind of a situation where they're trying to deal with tackle because they need to get to the logistics ship, right? Because they can't really, they know that they're not going to be able to kill a Sleipnir, although now it looks like they could have killed a Sleipnir.
They could very easily have killed a Sleipnir with this team because you do so much more damage to a shield Sleipnir than you do to a Saber. I think it may have just come down to they just didn't have enough practice with this team to have kind of realized the dynamics with heavy assault missiles.
So while we've been talking, a Tengu's already dead.
That Sleipnir probably will die because I think 2 Tengus will still be enough to break through the reps. It'll be close, though. But Commander Diaz's Tengu is also dropping extremely quickly without any logistics backup on him.
So in you guys' practice, what teams did this Caldari setup do really well against?
It did very well against all of our Sleipnir teams. It did well against our ECM teams. I thought
you said it didn't do well against the Sleipnir team.
It did do well. The Tengu team won against the Sleipnir teams, which is why I was saying that although I kind of like Outbreak more as pilots, I think that Black Legion had a better chance. But I think that mistake early on, going after the Saber with those heavy assault missile Tengus, which obviously was not able to break its tank, that's what killed them. It slowed it down too much, and they did finish off that Sleipnir, but it's not going to be enough at this point because all of their damage is going to be gone when that Tengu is gone.
Yes, that Tengu is about dead. So what do you do in a match like this when I mean, say the Scimitar, the Outbreak Scimitar, is just able to get clear and your Tengus get tackled by the Sleipnirs. I mean, does that happen in your practices? Do you have a way to deal with that before it happens?
You can throw drones from the Gilas and Worms onto the Scimitar, but mainly you just use the damage of the heavy assault missiles from the Tengus to break right through the Sleipnirs. And you can actually just win the brawl in that case when you're doing full damage. But when you're against a Saber, you're not doing full damage, not even close. You're doing like 1/4 damage.
And I assume ideally your Basilisk, which is the same thing happened to you guys' match, the Basilisk isn't in a position to get primaried and can stay away from the fight long enough to stabilize the tank.
We are seeing newts coming from the Gila and damage from the drones going onto that Scimitar. These are the ships that are most effective against the Scimitar, but they're not going to survive long enough, as we're seeing 1 Gila down and 2 Worms very quickly. That last one will go down very quick. And Outbreak is going to be our second semi-finalist.
Yeah, Outbreak versus Darkside in the semis.
That is going to be a
really
very
strong
good
match.
fight. Yes.
Yep. I just can't believe how fast they cut up that team. That was like that reminds me of actually you guys' semifinal last year where you brought the Rush team for the first time. Was that
was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Gosh, see what I mean? It's all just blurring.
But yeah, that was a Rush team against a Caldari team.
Where we were like, oh my god, the damage is so fast. This looks a lot like that.
And that's what this team is good for. If the Tengus had gone after the right target, they also would have been good for it. But unfortunately, I think that was just a mistake caused by inexperience with the particular setup.
So that does it. Outbreak dominating that match, even though it could have easily gone the other way. So congratulations to them. They'll be moving to the semis against Darkside. And with that, we'll head back to the studio.